right, here we are. Yo, Wiz, thank you for the follow. How's everybody doing today? What's going on? What is going on? Tried to fix my color settings a little bit on the front camera, but still not great. It's better than it could have been. Been following for 8 months. Why does it say you just started following? Why does it say you followed me? That's so weird. What up, Joe? How we doing? Oh, 1 second. One second here. All right. How's everybody doing today? Welcome in. We have another PC build. We've actually got quite a few in the pipeline right now. It was a little quiet for a little while. And we actually had a few orders come in the last couple weeks, but it's been pretty slow to get parts in with everything from like the holiday rush. So yeah, I'm excited to be back building some PCs for you guys. How's everybody doing today? Happy Tuesday. For a second in my brain, I thought it was Monday. I don't know anymore why it does that. Well, that's okay. You're here and that's what matters. I'm doing good. I had a nice break. I had like 2 weeks off of my day job. Got to spend some time with the family. Did a bunch of work here at the office trying to get stuff ready for the systems and the sleeper PC build that I'm working on, and the and the like Loop Fest and stuff. So had a lot going on, just wasn't working, you know. Speaking of the sleeper PC, I've got all of these like parts sitting around on the floor here. Got like this is a video card, got a Ethernet card, got a sound card. I don't know what I'm gonna do with all this. I kind of want to see if I can make, because I'm not gonna use any of this for anything. I kind of want to make like it'd be cool to make like a board or something that I could hang on the wall, like art, with all the old stuff. It's all that cool old school green. And I've got a bunch of stuff. I've got the motherboard. I could pull apart like the old floppy drives and all sorts of stuff. I don't know. I think it'd be fun. All right. Let me make sure. Okay. YouTube's working. TikTok hopefully is working. I saw it over there. Is there any echo for you guys? Is there a sound echo right now? Let me just go over there and double check. Because it does this to me like every time. I have to redo it every time. Yep. There we go. We'll just leave that open. Because Chrome, for whatever reason, doesn't like being on 0 for sound. It always defaults back to like 3 for some reason. All right, I think we got it fixed though. NASA called, they want you. Like Uncle Sam. Uncle Sam wants you. I need some water, y'all. I need some water. How's everybody doing? Welcome in on TikTok. Hello, hello. Gotta get a little water here. I'm really excited for this build, you guys. This is gonna be super, super cool. I mean, the system in itself is awesome. Like, it's a really small form factor build with, you know, some of the best components you can buy today. It's got a 4070 Ti Super and a 9800X 3D. But it's, yeah, I mean, this is going to be an incredible, incredible build. But it's even cooler once you figure out the entire setup. So not only do we have this amazing system that's gonna fit in this tiny little box. But we've also got a mobile gaming monitor, and then we've got a carrying case that you can actually put on like a carry-on in the plane. So we're gonna be able to fit the PC, the monitor, a controller, a little keyboard that has a little trackpad on it, so that you can have a fully mobile gaming setup. And you could obviously, you could swap out the controller for like a mouse and like an actual gaming keyboard if you play mouse and key. The customer for this plays pretty much all on controller. He was wondering if he could go without having a keyboard at all, but you obviously can't do that. So we included that. But fully mobile gaming setup, it's gonna be in a little carry-on that you just roll around with you. And then when you get to your hotel, you just pop it open, pull everything out, and you're gaming. It's gonna be awesome. Yo, what up, Camellia? How we doing? How much does this build cost? So this is a pretty high-end build. This one was around $3,300 or $3,500, and that includes the mobile monitor, the carrying case, the keyboard, and obviously these very nice high-end specs. You do pay a premium for going small form factor. Like a B650 motherboard of this range normally would be like in the $200 range. The little one, $270. This little case, normally you could get a nice case for like $100, maybe even $70, depending on what you're looking for. 150. 850 watt power supply in the small form factor, almost $200. So you really do have to pay a premium for getting the small form factor, but it looks so good. And I mean, look how convenient this is. Like, you can't tell me that this wouldn't fit on your desk. This is like the size of an Xbox or a PlayStation, and way more powerful. Yeah, not the GPU itself, total build cost. And Camellia, if you type in !specs, SPECS, it'll give you the full build list of what's going in this system. What temps do I expect? I'm not sure. So the way that this is set up though, the CPU cooler radiator is gonna be sitting on top, and then the GPU is pulling in fresh air from in here. So I think what we'll do is GPU pulls in fresh air, the CPU cooler is pushing air out, and then the power supply, which sits up here on the front, is also probably gonna be pulling in fresh air. So I think the temps are gonna look pretty good. The 9800 X3D does run a little bit hot. Just the X3D chips in general run a little bit hotter than the non-X3D chips, but a 240 millimeter cooler from EK should be more than enough. I would guess on the CPU, we're probably looking in the 60s under like heavy gaming and stuff, and the GPU should be able to run like normal temperatures, what you would expect, maybe even better than what you would expect from a larger case, because the GPU fans are gonna be right here, pulling in fresh air right through this mesh panel. So I would not expect higher temperatures in this than anything else that I've built. Yo, what up, Oat? How we doing? This is our newest partner in the chat over here, Oatmeal TV. Yeah, he made an awesome little video announcing the partnership and stuff too. Oh, dude, are you gonna be at Loot Fest this year by chance? It's in Texas in the end of February. Be cool to see you if you could. Yeah, oh, definitely below 100 C. This is not gonna be like a laptop. This is not gonna be like a laptop where like temps are super high all the time. This is gonna act pretty much like a normal desktop in terms of temperatures. Like there's lots of good spots for airflow. Like every single panel besides this front is mesh. So you're gonna get tons of airflow throughout this entire system. Scream at the top of your lungs for $50? I don't wanna get in trouble. How about that? I don't wanna do it for too long. I'm in a building where there's a bunch of people. I just have a small office space, so I don't wanna be too loud. I don't know if that was enough to be worth $50. Maybe it's worth $10, but there you go. Wishing you a happy New Year's, considering it's still in season. Hey, thank you. Happy New Year's to you as well. To everyone else, it is definitely still within the season. It's still first week of January. Happy New Year's to everybody. The weather here is cold. It's cold. It's been down in like the mid to low 20s at night, and then right now it's not too bad. It's been in the upper 40s, mid 40s during the day. But we did get some snow last week. Also, I'm gonna restart this recording. I'm gonna record this build to use as part of the long form video I'm working on for the red site. I don't want to say it if TikTok gets upset at me. But I'm gonna make a full long form video on this whole setup, performance, what it looks like when it's all set up, all that. So it's gonna be really fun. Why am I unboxing last year's GPU? You mean, why am I using this GPU? This is still one of the best, GPUs available. The RTX 50 series might have been announced, but the replacement for this will not be available until February, and the 5080 and 5090 are not going to be available until the very end of January, so that's why. Won't make it to Loot Fest, but I do plan to go to DreamHack Atlanta. Oh, nice. I haven't been to anything but like Loot Fest. I really wanted to go to CES this year. I just couldn't make it happen. If business picks up and is going really well, I might try and make it to more events this year. But right now we're just trying to, keep the business rolling and not spend too much money, Do you think all the AI integration for 5000 series will increase latency? It's hard to say. I don't think it'll increase input latency. It might have some effect on the latency of transferring data back and forth to the servers, like you're playing Call of Duty. But I don't know. I honestly don't think it's going to cost much in terms of latency. You just ordered a 5090. The 5090 isn't even available, so I don't know how you would have ordered a 5090. You could have maybe pre-ordered it, but it's not available until January 30th. There's nowhere to even pre-order it right now that I've seen. Unless you're pre-ordering it through some third party. Oh, you're well, okay. Not all of us have the hookups with Nvidia. What up, Ghost Gaming? How we doing? 41 here. Possible snow on Thursday. I love getting snow. Guys, his dad works for Nvidia. Hey, I'm not saying his dad doesn't work for Nvidia. I don't know. I'm not gonna make fun of him because I don't know. His dad very well could work for Nvidia, in which case he's probably getting a screaming deal on a 5090. I know I have friends that work for Intel, and they get really good deals on CPUs. It's pretty incredible. I'm glad to hear that, Ghost. All right, should we get started on the build? Should we start building this PC? I don't think it's gonna take super long. I took a quick look at the case and the user manual just to kind of get a good idea of how they recommend the build sequence and everything. I don't think it's gonna be too bad as far as small form factor builds go, but I wanted to hang out with you guys for a minute before we really got started, About a 4080 Jeep. You were able to get a 4080 today? Where did you get it from? Hey, let's just be nice in the chat, all right? We'll just clean slate right here, you guys. Be friendly in the chat, please. Yeah, where did you find a 40? Actually, I did see a 4080 Super on Newegg today. Yes, actually, you know what? I saw that. There was an MSI Ventus. They said they had 5 or something available for $1,200 bucks. Yeah, they had a few in stock. I saw I think Newegg posted about it on Twitter, and I saw it, and they were actually available. I didn't try adding one to cart to see if they were still available when I saw it, but that's awesome. Hopefully you got it for, retail price and not really late. Wait, it's that cold in Texas, Wiz? I didn't think Texas was gonna get that cold. I'm really hoping for warmish weather when I go to Texas for Loot Fest in the end of February, because nobody wants to be cold, All right, I don't know why I'm pulling panels off this. I don't want it yet. Let's work on this. All right, here is our MSI B650 Edge Wi-Fi motherboard. This is an ITX little baby board. We've got some SATA cables. We won't need that. Got RGB, which we shouldn't need, just because it's the transferring RGB from the proprietary 3-pin to the 5-volt standard. Shouldn't need that. And we've got a couple of M.2 screws. We might need those. Nobody knows. I don't know if there'll be any pre-installed. Okay, that's all of our stuff. Look how adorable this little motherboard box is. It's so cute. Ryzen 9000 ready. Perfect. Dude, I love ITX builds. I want to go, here's the thing, I would love to go with like an ITX build just like this for my next system. The problem is I spent so much money building my custom water-cooled AMD build that I don't know when I would ever upgrade it. Like I might upgrade pieces here and there down the road, but like I just don't know when I would ever upgrade it. One cool thing here is this actually has a second M.2 slot. It's not gonna be very accessible within the system, but you do have a second slot right here. So you could we're putting a 2 terabyte in this, the main slot here, but there should be room for a second one in case he ever wants to upgrade down the road. Please do not over tighten the CPU water block to prevent any injury from motherboard components. Let's pull that off. Don't think we want this plastic bit here. Do you do these live build? Whenever I have builds to do, besides the sleeper PC, which I'm doing as like a project, and I'm gonna try and sell later, any builds that customers order, I do live. So yes. You might not see me live all that often sometimes if I don't have a lot of builds coming in, but I do them whenever I have them, you know? It was 20 at night? Ooh, it's cold. Okay, let's see. I'm gonna start with our M.2. I think it's just these 2 bolts here to pull this guy off. I don't see like a release for it, so I'm guessing that's what that is. All right, let's get our screwdriver out here. I know ITX builds are so fun. Very little cables needed anymore in builds. It's just power to board. Yeah, power to the board, power to the CPU. Maybe a SATA, maybe a couple of SATA power cables if you're doing like some of the higher end RGB stuff. And that's really about it. Okay, so we actually do need M.2 screws in here. They don't provide like a self what do they call those? A toolless installation. Get off my hand, jeez. All right, not that. 2 terabyte SSD from Team Group. Yeah, it's got a really cool design on this motherboard. Come on. Is my knife not sharp right now? I sharpened it recently. I'm just not very good at it. Who needs an RTX 4080? I've got Intel integrated graphics and I get boring experience with whopping 24. Sarcasm. That motherboard's a nightmare. It used to come with death battery due to a bad package. Well, hopefully not this time around. Everyone double tap that live stream. That's right. Thank you, Ghost. Why is that so hard to get out? Here we go. Okay, 2 terabyte SSD from Team Group. It's the MP44L, which is a Gen 4 SSD. It's got pretty fast speeds. 5,000 and 4,500 read-write respectively. Let's get one of our little M.2 screws here. It's weird they come with 3 M.2 screws, even though there's only 2 on the board. They know you're gonna lose them because they're so tiny. Okay, got our M.2 screw. Let's put this guy in. Is the 6700 XT still worth it? How much is it running for right now? Like, how much are you able to get it for? I think that would be the big question on whether it's still worth it. Because it's still a solid card. It's just, you know, it's getting older. Okay, here we go. I'm technically both an Intel user and an AMD user because my stream PC has a 12700K. Wish there were cool tech events around Europe, envious of y'all in the States. Are there not anything around Europe? All right, so we got our M.2 in there. Put my regular size driver back on. Let's get our 9800X 3D. What's a good budget AIO cooler? Right now, the Thermalright, like frozen ones. Thermalright has some really nice 240 and 360 millimeter AIOs for like well under $100, like $50 to $70. I would say that's probably one of the best. Check the box and look for a hole in the reset BIOS button position. What are you talking about? What do you do with ancient hardware in your storage? I don't typically have a lot of really old hardware. You're talking about me personally. I don't typically carry a lot of really old hardware. If I do, I'll either try and just like put it on eBay or find like a use for it in like a really cheap system or a used system. But I don't typically have a lot of old hardware laying around. Do I think a 3080 Ti and 11700K for 1K is a good deal? If it comes with everything, like if you have like a whole system for 1K, sure. If it's just those two components for 1K US, I wouldn't say so. I used AMD years ago, then used Intel for ages. The last build was an AMD CPU. Intel stock price is not doing well. You're not wrong. All right, so we've got our CPU in there. We've got our SSD in there. Let's get our RAM installed. This is a low profile kit from Team Group. They don't necessarily like advertise it as a low profile kit, but that's what it is. Low profile, it's their T-Create lineup, which is a really good lineup. T-Create Expert lineup. CL32-6400. It's a 32 gigabyte kit, which is more than enough for gaming, to be honest. Excuse me. Hey, Rat Dog, thank you for the follow, by the way. I missed a question somewhere about a BIOS, apparently. I don't know. That's because Intel been keeping the issues secret till recently. Yeah, it's not necessarily because of their CPUs directly. There's a lot of things going on. People in India have the money to buy iPhones, but don't buy a PC. I mean, an iPhone is infinitely more useful for most people, I would say. All right, show a nice little RAM here. I'm sure we could have fit like the full size like Delta RGB RAM. This stuff is actually cheaper, and since there's not really, the focus of this wasn't really RGB, it was to get a really high-end system. So we saved a few bucks and went with the T-Create RAM, which I honestly think looks incredible. I mean, look at that. It's really good looking stuff. And it comes with a sticker. Do I get nervous installing PGA or LGA? No, I don't. This is build 236 or something at this point. It doesn't really, doesn't faze me. What up, Fadeaway? How we doing? Welcome in. I'm doing good. What should I do in BIOS for boot? What should you do in the BIOS? You should make sure it's up to date. You should set all your fans to PWM if you have nice PWM fans, and maybe set the fan curve to be a little more aggressive if your stuff is getting warm. You should enable RAM, XMP, DOCP, Expo, whatever it is you have, and check that resize bar is on. Those are like baseline. If you're not going to do anything else in the BIOS, you should do those. Is 16 gigabytes of RAM still all right in 2025? For gaming, 16 gigabyte is still okay. It's becoming like the way everything is working, like you're just gonna consistently need more and more RAM as time goes on. But 16 gigabytes is still solid for a budget PC. If you're building a nicer PC, like if you're getting DDR5, there's no reason to ever get 16 gigs because like the standard kit is a 2x 16 gigabyte kit. But if you're still on DDR4 or whatever, 16 gigs is fine because you can get a good kit of 16 gig RAM for like 40 bucks right now. All right, this is what our power supply is going to mount to. Just getting that out of the way so I have lots of room to work in here. I know it's a small build, but there's always room to work. The 47 Ti Super is getting old. Wait for the 5000 series. Yeah, if you're waiting to build a system, you know, and you don't have the money yet or whatever, then yeah, wait for the 5000 series. But this is not for me. This is a customer build. He's already been waiting for quite a while, and he did not want to wait multiple more months to get a new system when a 4070 Ti Super in a year from now is still going to be a really good card. Don't let all the marketing fool you. Just because they're coming out with newer and better cards doesn't make the current list of cards less good, you know? I need to double check how this EK mounts to our CPU block before I put this in here, because it's not going to be really accessible afterwards. Yeah, exactly. That's my thought exactly. Ghost, or is that Ghost? Camellia. Like if you're on a tight budget, 16 gigs of DDR4 is still good enough. If you're building anything more than like 800 bucks in the US, if you're spending any more than $800 to build your own PC, then I would say go with DDR5 and get a 32 gig kit, CL30 6000 or CL32 6400. Can I BIOS flashback after building the PC? Yes, you can. I mean, you shouldn't need to flash if your BIOS is new enough to support your CPU. You shouldn't need to do flashback. You can just do a standard BIOS update. There we go. Man, it's harder to get out than I thought it would be. All right, documentation. What I want is in this box. Don't think this uses the standard AMD brackets. In fact, I'm like 90% sure it does not. So let's just double check that. 5000 series is revealed, and the 5080 and 5090 are coming out. Apparently I do need the things because they don't label that. 5080 and 5090 will be here on January 30th. This was ordered a couple weeks ago before they had even fully announced that. Okay, I don't care about that. Which one do I want for AMD? AMD mounting bracket. It's wonderful. Squeak, squeaker, squeak, squeaking. Mounting thumb screws. The thick boys are what we want. It's interesting they use the exact same screws for Intel and AMD.
Stop ignoring your long-lost BFF.
Okay, that's what I needed to know. So, now we can pull these guys off. This is not going to be easily done when the motherboard is in, so I want to get these standoffs on now. Rytech, hello! I've missed you too, dude. I have not even like played Call of Duty without you. That's how much I miss you. Sorry, I didn't mean to ignore you. What's going to be a good CPU to pair with the 5070 Ti when it drops? I would say 9700X. You could get, maybe it'll be on discount, 7800X 3D. You could get a Ryzen 5 as well. That'll still be really good for that. So you could go like a 9600X or a 7600X. The pricing difference between those two is not a lot. So I would probably say get the 9000 series version unless the 7000 really goes on sale. EK, I'm thinking Honda Civic. Yo, what up, Fadeaway? Welcome in over here. I've got 880 euros to buy a setup like PC monitor, everything. No, I would not buy a gaming laptop. Unless you're going to be on the go all the time to play it, the price to performance that you get from a laptop is worse than a desktop. So I would definitely recommend going with a desktop. If you're comfortable with it, I would recommend building your own at that sort of budget so you can get the most out of your budget. And then for maybe monitor and stuff, maybe look around for something used to save some money on that, because a monitor is pretty easy to verify that it's in good condition and working. And you could even find some of your PC components used if you'd like. So I need a new build to get that 5070. You let me know, Lee. You let me know. It won't be out until February, so you got a little bit of time. But okay. Is it okay to use hairdryer for cleaning PC dust? I wouldn't, because it creates a lot of static. I would get yourself an actual can of air or an electric air duster. I can show you the one I have, which is pretty expensive for the average person to use, but it's really, really good. All right, get that cable out of the way. Okay, there we go. That is all in place. And then in my handy dandy bag of stuffs will be a solid budget for a build with a 5070 Ti. So the 5070 Ti is gonna run around $800. So $800, maybe plan for another $300 for the CPU. Are you building it yourself? Are you trying to build it yourself, Grizz, or do you want someone to build it? If you build it yourself, I'm gonna ballpark and say, so CPU plus GPU is probably around 1,100 bucks, 1,200 for the case, 1,350 for a power supply, 1,450 with RAM, maybe a little over 1,600 for SSD. I know you do editing, so you probably want more than one terabyte, but call it 1,600 bucks. CPU cooler, maybe another 100, so 1,700. I would say, so 1,700, 1,900-ish when you start including shipping, and then maybe another $300-ish for a build fee, 200-ish something dollars for a build fee. So I would say just north of 2,000. Oh, you do? Oh, you edit on a Mac? Okay, I didn't know that. Yeah, I would call it in the range of 2,000 to 2,200 bucks maybe. That's a good, really good. Obviously, that literally was just out of the top of my head. I don't even remember if I included a motherboard in that cost. If y'all were listening, can you remember if I mentioned the price of a motherboard? Someone please check if I said motherboard. What's the budget? What budget is this ITX build? This one was just over 3,000. I wouldn't say 3,300 bucks, but that also includes the high-end 1440p gaming monitor and the carrying case and a foldable keyboard and all that. So if you weren't getting all that stuff, it was probably 2,800 bucks, and that's build fee, shipping, everything included. I'm gonna use my other one. Grizz, how you doing, by the way? It's good to see you in here. Oh yeah, the M3 chip is pretty solid. I feel like most people who edit, that aren't directly in the gaming space, are using Macs too. Okay, sorry, I missed a bunch of YouTube comments. Yeah, more likes, people. More likes over there. Otherwise, it'll be AB hell for me. Should be able to get one in May. Let's go, Camellia. The 5070 is going to be a baller card for sure, especially if you're willing to use DLSS. Your 9800X 3D arrives tomorrow. Let's go. That's awesome. I'm going to keep those just right here handy because I'm going to need them for the power supply. Okay, so we got this installed. Let's get some of our cables in here. So we've got power switch. Where's our power switch stuff? There's audio, JFP1. I think it's that guy right there. Let's actually get this guy in first. So this is our GPU PCIe riser cable. Just gonna get this in so it's not in the way or anything. Come on. There we go. There we go. Okay. That is in, fully seated. Love that. All right. So we're JFP1 is there. Power switch is, oh gosh, that's small. I need smaller hands. Okay, power switch in. Is that the only thing that's on here? Yes, it is. Okay. HD audio. Let's get our HD audio in here. I should probably check the motherboard thing and make sure that's the right one to put it in. Quick installation guide. Yep, JFP1. Okay, cool. All right, HD audio in. And Europe, watch the 5070 be 700 euros. Oof. Hopefully not. I counted for everything, Aaron. In essence, I should be looking at enough for even a 5070 Ti, but that extra cash is like a buffer for scalping. Smart. You're building your PC right now too. Let's go. What up, Mega? All right, USB 3.0. That is gonna go right here. Just like that. And then our USB-C is also gonna go right here. Okay. Definitely gonna have to kind of figure out cable management as we go along here. Yo, thank you for the subs, y'all. Is it worth it to buy an already made PC that was used for a short period of time? If it's in good shape, then yes, I would make sure that it's a well-built PC and everything's working. But that's definitely a way to save money on a system. You have a 3700X. It's getting a little old. 11th gen, this guy has 12th gen. I have a 12th gen, like a i7 that I use in my streaming PC. Yo, what up, Country Swag? How we doing? I've now cursed you to a dead GPU? No. Yeah, gaming PCs are, I mean, they're expensive. There's no way around that, that's for sure. Okay, so we've got this installed. The next thing, we've got our power cable here. The next thing I wanna do is put our radiator up on top and get that all hooked up. So let's pull out this tray to make it easier on ourselves. I think this tray is reversible. It is. Got a nice spring to it. What is this case? Is the Lian Li A4H2O. If you want to see the specs, like the full list of specs, Ahmed, type in !specs, S-P-E-C-S, and you will get the full list of what's being put in this system. All right, I'm gonna put that right there, precariously. Okay, we've got that. Let's get our CPU cooler out of here. Come on. Got our CPU cooler. So this guy is gonna sit right up here and then go right there. It's tight, it's a tight fit, but it says it'll fit. So we should be good. Okay. Get our fans. All right, let's get all this plastic off here. Drop the YouTube. Hey, thank you so much for the sub. I appreciate you. I'm going to build a new PC. Your budget is $1,200 US. That'll get you a good little system. If y'all are interested and you need like a build list, shoot me a message and I can get you one, or maybe make a video of my suggestion for your budget. Can't wait to watch you build your PC. Yeah, buddy. Country, are you the one that bought them for your kids? Is that you? Oh look, pre-applied thermal paste. That's so nice of them. All right, so we need, so this is gonna sit like this. I think cables on the fans. Normally you would push it to the back. I think just due to space constraints, I'm gonna put them towards the front. So this guy's gonna go in there. This guy's gonna go here. Plug them together. Of course, they're not facing the same direction, because why would they? Okay, so got those in there. Get all of our bolts out. Oh, awesome. When you said PCs, I was like, I'm sure that's probably him, but you never know. All right. Well, what up, Wild Panda? Yes, it is the best CPU for gaming. In my and many others' humble opinion. Come on, here we go. There we go. Now it's in there. How often do I stream? Whenever I have PCs to build. Sometimes it's a couple times a week. Sometimes it's every couple weeks. Just kind of depends on how business is going, you know? Sometimes I'll do just like gaming streams, but not on YouTube. Yo, what up, Trucker? Thought 57 will be operating similar to the 4070. It's gonna have similar specs in a lot of ways to the 57 or 4070, but because of all the AI features, if you're utilizing the AI features, it will definitely outperform the 4070 by a long ways. I know a lot of people are, you know, like, oh, that's not real frames or whatever, but like that's kind of the way of the future is everyone's going towards using AI to get better performance with a minimal hit to price and power usage. So I honestly think that that's going to be kind of the future is utilizing AI to get better price to performance and more efficient systems, you know. AI and gaming, red flag. I don't think you're going to be able to escape it, man. Don't think you're gonna be able to escape it. Have you ever ran into AMD cards, screens turn black when playing a game? I have in my old one. You can check and make sure that your like hotspot temperature isn't getting too hot. It could be like a driver issue. Mine actually started doing that, and it ended up being a motherboard issue. Like I had to get my motherboard repaired, but I think that's kind of more rarity. I appreciate you stopping in, country. I have a 1660 Super, 24 gigs of DDR4 RAM, i5 14400. What should you upgrade? I would probably upgrade your CPU to start, or sorry, not your CPU, your GPU to start would be the first thing. That 14400 isn't terrible, but you could definitely get a better, like faster CPU in there, but I don't think that would be your bottleneck with your current system. I think the current bottleneck would be your GPU. What's your price? What's your budget? Okay, so we got all that. This guy plugged in. Ooh, man, thought that broke for a second, but just took some serious effort to get it in there. Okay, so that is all there. Now, so this guy mounted this way, so we gotta put this on here. Back to work. Hey, have a good one, man. Appreciate you stopping in. So I don't really need to upgrade. With a 4070 Ti, no, you definitely don't need to upgrade right now with that GPU. $700-ish. For $700-ish, right now you could get a 4070 Super for a little under that. After taxes, it'll probably be around $700. You could get a 7900 or 7800 XT at least, maybe a 7900 XT. Those would be some really good options. If you want to wait till 50 series, get yourself the 5070. Oh, you're Australian? Then probably like a 4060 Ti. If you're talking Australian dollars, you're probably a 4060 Ti or like a 7700 XT. Okay, so this guy needs to slot through there with a bunch of extra cable length. I guess I did put it towards the back. Well, that's okay. Oh. Get these guys out of the way. Okay. There we go. That is in there. Okay. Yeah, that looks pretty good. So that definitely fits. I might want to run my CPU power cable in before I fully put this in, but I can at least tighten down the bolts to the tray. Yo, what up, Burrito? How we doing? Welcome in with the Chadwick Rage. Love that. Didn't hear the sound of the notification? Oh yeah, it didn't come through on my thing. That's annoying. Well, thank you for subscribing anyways, Alki. I appreciate you. What are better to buy air cooling? If you want to save money, go with an air cooler. If you want a little bit better looks and stuff, then go with liquid cooling, like a AIO like this. But you're definitely going to pay a premium for liquid cooling in most cases. Okay, what was I gonna do? Power. Starting to be a little crowded up here. Wild Panda with a sub, thank you. That one went through. I guess Botrix just doesn't like you, Alki, I don't know. Finally, people don't have Intel here. Yeah, AMD, Team Red. Big fan. Doing good, was just watching that Nvidia launch. Oh yeah, I watched that last night. There's a lot of like stuff that is way over my head too, when it comes to them talking about AI and all that. All right, power cable's out. Let's get our CPU power cable in there. Dude, that 9800 X3D with a 4070 Ti is gonna be baller, man. Okay, what do I got here? Okay, shouldn't need that. Motherboard power, need that. CPU power, need that. Where's my GPU power? GPU power, need that. Shouldn't need any of these other cables. Yeah, there's no extra, yep, okay, cool. That's all we need from that. Don't need my bag. Let's get CPU power in. Yeah, AI is definitely the future. Like, you're not gonna be able to get away from it. You might be able to like avoid it right now, but you're not gonna be able to get away from it. Yeah, it's crazy, man. Like, it feels like we're living in the future, doesn't it, Burrito? Okay. I'm gonna tilt this down just so you guys can see what I'm doing here. I'm gonna put this CPU power cable in there. Come on. There we go. Okay. And then we're gonna route it through the back. Is that fresh haircut? Okay, so we routed that to the back, and then we'll make our way over to the power supply over there. Okay. Got our CPU cooler fans and all that jazz. So let's get our CPU cooler fans plugged in over here. I think the CPU cooler fan is probably gonna be one of these guys up there. They're not labeled, so let's get our thing back out here. Quick installation kit, no. Regulatory thing, no. So system fan. So we've got CPU cooler fan and we've got a CPU cooler option fan is gonna be what we have. So CPU cooler fan, I'm just gonna say is the closer one of the two. Because there's no documentation for it. Oh. Scan QR code for all that stuff. Does this even tell you where stuff is? No. Cool. I think it says I can scan QR code on here. If there is one. User manual. All right. Well, let's see what MSI has to say. I just want the pin out. I don't need to know how it goes together. I know that. There we go. Yep, I was right. CPU fan inside, pump fan on the outside. Cool. So I think rather than running this directly in front like that, we're gonna run it along the back from whence it came. If the music wasn't there, everyone would hear a tiny echo. Did it reset? I hate this thing, man. It should be back to 0. Is the echo away now? I set it to 0. Translate that? Yeah, I don't know what that is, so. Okay, I'm gonna run this guy to the back as well. Sorry, normally it's a lot easier for you guys to see exactly what I'm doing than this, but unfortunately, how tight this thing is, it's not really an option. I could pull this panel out. Okay. All right, so we got these guys. Don't want to plug that one in yet because it's gonna plug into the other thing first. So CPU fan installed there. Okay. Oh, you came out? Okay. And then let's get our CPU cooler block installed. Make sure these guys are tight. How many 9800X3D builds have you done? I think this is my second one. Get our AMD bracket here. Is that all the bolts that this came with? Okay. So, gotta pull this guy off now. I'm gonna put it in like that. Yep, that way. Is that not the right bolt? Looks like the right bolt. In here or something? Oh, there we go. I was like, these look like they would be the right ones. They're almost the right size. They hid them in a different bag. Your Gigabyte doesn't have one port. India tax is 28%, like your sales tax. Oof. What do I do if my motherboard doesn't have an RGB port for your fans? If you don't have one on there, you could buy an RGB hub, like a controller for it that can power them, and then either has like a remote or buttons on it to adjust your fan RGB. Okay, here we go. There's that. And I need these guys. Come on. Why are you not going on there? Why does this have to be so annoying? Oh, I don't want those cables routed under there. There we go. Got that one started. How do I ground myself with just the power supply? Well, if you have a grounding cable, then you take the power supply and plug it into the wall, make sure it's turned off, and then you just hook the little gator clip on your grounding strap to the power supply, like the case of the power supply, and that's how you ground to it. Come on. There we go. What up, Cryptic? All right, see you later, Alki. Thank you for hopping in. Hatfield, what's up, dude? Okay, just double check those are all nice and tight now. Yep. Yep, okay. Got all that. Now we just need gotta do two things here. One, gotta connect in our pump right there. Okay, there's our pump connected. And this is RGB for our pump. This guy, where he's gonna end up down here. And it needs to get connected to the RGB cable down here. Just gonna pull these together. Okay, RGB is connected now. All right, that stuff is all connected in. Okay. I think at this point, we can bolt down this guy. These bolts. Yo, Micro Lee for the $2. Appreciate you. And you're welcome. And Wesley coming in with the 99 cents. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, so this stuff, it's all nice and connected now. So, I think what I want to do next is pull this panel off while I work on the cable routing and the power supply. You can pretty much take every single panel on this thing off, it seems. Oh, maybe I can't take this off with that in there though. Oh, that's unfortunate. I thought I could. Okay, well, that was gonna make it easier to do stuff, but it wasn't really a requirement. Okay. No problem. Stop ignoring TikTok. I'm not getting anything on TikTok. TikTok hasn't been showing me any chat. Do I need to like refresh TikTok or something? What? Why has it not been showing me any of my chats on TikTok? Yo, TikTok, I have not been ignoring you. The chat has not been working. I popped it out and I had it sitting right in front of me and I was like, wow, it's crazy how quiet it is on TikTok this entire time. Oh, it's not working again. So it's not working when I do pop out chat. That's frustrating. That's why. Oh, not to do that. Yo, TikTok, I'm so sorry. I did pop out chat on TikTok and nothing's been showing up. Like as soon as I pop it out, it empties out. Even after like going and looking at over there, I popped it out again and it was empty. So that's my bad. I guess I should have checked that way earlier. I mean, I've been reading the red chat too, but I would like to be able to read all of my chats, you know? Like that's like the good thing to do as a streamer. How much was this PC? It was a little over 3,000 when you include the mobile gaming monitor and all the other stuff for the mobile setup. Okay. Wow. I am really sorry, you guys. Wish TikTok would work correctly. That would be really cool. Come on, TikTok. Fix it. Have I seen the RTX 5090? Yes, I went and watched the entire keynote speech last night and took notes and everything. It's the 5090 is very expensive, but the performance and stuff that they're touting with that the new AI Blackwell GPUs is pretty impressive. Glad TikTok doesn't work because I'm giving you guys all the attention. I bet. Where's the GPU? It's not in here yet. It's not in here yet. We're not quite there. I'm doing the GPU like last because it's gonna make it a lot harder to do all my cable management stuff with the GPU in, so I'm doing that as late as possible. So this is a ROG low-key SFX power supply from ASUS. And it's got tons of little pieces of plastic, I bet. Little plastic cover pieces here. Tons of really hard to remove little pieces of plastic. There we go. Any professional advice? What CPU should I pair with the 5080? If you're gonna spend that much on a 5080, get yourself a 9800X 3D or like a 9700X would be my suggestion. Okay, got all that off. So this guy mounts like this, which means I want this guy to slide in like that. Cool, cool. I forgot what the fake GPU, the 4090 Ti, yeah, that was the fake one. The 4090 Ti, Lamau. Teach me the way. Cronny, what's up? How we doing, Jilly Bean? This is the way. Get yourself a little baby PC so you can just carry it around. This is gonna be a fully mobile setup, you guys. Like, we're gonna have a carry-on case that you like rolls around. It's gonna have this in it. It's gonna have a 1440p mobile monitor. It's gonna have a little keyboard and touchpad in there for like basic maneuvering within Windows. It's going to have that case is going to fit all of that inside of it. The only thing that I'm not sure about if we'll be able to fit it or not is like a headset. If you had like IEMs, those would fit, but everything else will fit inside of a carrying case. So you'll literally be able to just like take it and put it over the top of a in like the overhead bin when you get on the plane. What's going in this system is a 4070 Ti Super with the 9800X 3D. Those are the important specs. So this one has a 4070 Ti Super. You can fit a 3-slot like large graphics card in this case, but I went with a 2-slot 4070 Ti Super because 1, that's what I could find, and 2, it's what we had in the budget. Giveaway? No. And no. This is a customer build, Husk. Okay, so this guy is gonna sit in here like this, like this. Okay, so let's get our power cables plugged in. Thankfully, we only have a couple. I'm a broke single mom to 3 kids. You should give me this for free. Gotta keep my business alive. You want me to just go out of business? You want me to be broke? You want my wife to yell at me? Yes. No, thank you. I would be too afraid to bring this around. Nah, bro. Nah. This would be epic to have at your hotel room. Like, imagine just like, you just pull up to your hotel room, you just open up your case, and you just set this baby up and play insane games at 1440p. Come on. Come on. You know that's what you want. You know you want it. Okay. Oh, I need to plug the motherboard power cable in, or the CPU power cable in here. Oh, that other cable was addressable RGB, but we don't have another RGB port on the motherboard. So he's just not going to be able to control the RGB on the power supply. You know what? Actually, hold on. I think I have a better splitter than that. I have a splitter. Do I have a better splitter than that? Maybe all I have is that sort of splitter. This one looks a little bit smaller, maybe. Splitter. Okay, so let's pull this back down. Pull this guy out. This ridiculously long cable. It's our new RGB cable to go in here. My hands are too big. Here, let's pull this USB 3 out. Oh my gosh, never mind. Thing is forever cemented in the motherboard. Yep, it's in there forever. It'll make it a lot easier to fit my fat fingers in here. But it's okay, because we got it anyways. Stuck on that USB 3. All right. Got those put in here. This guy needs this random RGB cable. It was in here somewhere. Oh, my knees just exploded. There we go. Okay. Do I know the band Nicker? Nope. N-I-C-K-E-R? I do not know that band name. Okay. There is all of our RGB stuff connected. I'm gonna put this twist tie back on here because this is a ton of cables to deal with. I said N-I-C-K-E-R. Look at the chat. I'm sure that's what he was trying to make it sound like I say the wrong word, but that's not what I said. I probably shouldn't have even said N-I-C-K-E-R because that, but I did. I did not say the bad word ghost. I would never say that. crazy. I remember your little office space in your house. I know, right? So much more space in here. Whew, that was a tight fit. Yeah, well, that's a stupid joke. It's really not even funny. Especially not if you're gonna get me friggin' banned and in trouble. Unless you're 5 years old, you should know better. You can stay, just don't make dumb jokes like that. Okay, so we got all this stuff in here. We need to figure out how to get our power cable back to the front of the case. Because right now, it's kind of blocked. I think if I lift this guy back up, I'll have room to do that. So hopefully I can lift this out. I'm gonna switch to this. Is there a front main? Do I have a front main? No, I guess we have that. Might need to pull the power supply back out for a second. Okay, pulling that out for a hot second. Grab this guy instead of going up top. Pull it back through all this crap. I'm gonna run it around that. Okay, I'm gonna run that over here like so. Plug it in. I know you guys can't really see what I'm doing. I'm running the motherboard power cable into the motherboard right now. Okay. So now, when I bring this back in, I can stick it back out through the bottom of the case, or through the bottom of the power supply. Pull that cable through there too. Now, there we go. That's much better. Now it fits. Still a very tight space in there, but yo, what up, Glenn? Andy? Glenn, Andy? How are my specs? Are they good? 7500 FP 650, 32 gigs, 1 terabyte SSD, Corsair case, 150 watt bronze. Personally, I would not have gone with a bronze rated 750 watt power supply for that GPU. I would have gone 80 plus gold if I was only going to get a 750 watt. The only time I use bronze rated power supplies is in like really low end systems. For better power delivery capabilities. Just tell them they're being rude again and I'll come over. I think everyone's being okay now. The rest of the specs aren't bad. That 7500F is like a really nice budget way to get into AM5. Okay, so this stuff is all in here now. Like so. I might use one of these right now just to keep that tightened up. Oh, I did it upside down. Yeah, thank you for the sub. A bunch of other people with the subs. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Appreciate that. Okay, so on this side, looking pretty good. Let's look at the back side now. So this is where we're gonna have to start really working on some cable management. I think we can fit stuff up above like this. Let's get our GPU out. Take a quick look though. I know we're pretty far into this build to not having even looked at our GPU, but it's just the way it goes sometimes. This case is very small. They don't really make them much smaller than this. Don't know why you weren't subscribed. Hey, well, I appreciate you subscribing now. Yeah, that would be my suggestion, would be to change out your power supply. Get a like 750 or 850 watt, 80 plus gold. Seasonic, Asus, EVGA. Any of those would be great. Corsair. ASRock even has some new power supplies that I think are pretty good. I don't actually know. They haven't been out long enough for people to do much testing on them. They even console to go PC for iRacing. Let's go. Any recommendations? Yeah, I've got a couple of things out. Depending, I don't know, what's your budget like? That's probably the biggest question. Because depending on your budget, it definitely affects a lot of decisions. You could even shoot me a DM or an email, and I can help you with a build list based on your budget. Okay, that's all the plastic off. Do I send the boxes of the components along with the PC? I don't. Personally, I do not. Okay, so this guy is gonna go in just like this. So he's gonna sit right about there. So yeah, there is room to run those cables on top. Okay, cool. Okay, and then this guy is going to have to run not too far, right about there. All right, so we can run that cable. Scares me a little bit. I think that's the cable for the fans. I'll leave that there. Do another one up here. About 2K. If you're building it yourself for 2K, you could get yourself something like a 5070 Ti and like a 9700X. But yeah, I mean, reach out to me and I can get you like an actual like full build list on everything that I would recommend to put in your system. Or we can try and do it after I'm done building this PC. You can email me at build@redneckengineer.com, or you can just shoot me a DM right here on Twitter or TikTok. My stuff is open on TikTok. You can send a message request there. Okay. This is a little bit of a cluster over here. But it's kind of the way it goes with a small form factor build. If you get it all to fit, that's kind of what matters in the small form factor build. Those look like they want to come apart. Let's get a little electrical tape on that. Okay, those RGB connectors were just looking a little loosey-goosey there, so I didn't want them coming apart in here. Okay, that mischief is sort of managed there. I think it's time we put our GPU in. I think to do this, we need to remove this little bracket here, connect our GPU in, and then we can get it into place. I think that's going to be the best way to get it in here without breaking anything. Okay, get that out. Get our 2 slots open. Best motherboards for the best price, AM4 B550. If you're on AM4, the B550 is definitely the best way to get one for a really reasonable price. But I mean, motherboard is all dependent on what CPU and stuff you got. Okay, so got that slotted back in where it belongs. A little bit of pressure on that, but not bad. Get my iFixit driver in here. It'll fit a lot better. Where'd my screw go? Don't know where my screw went. Oh. It's in my GPU. There we go. Okay. So, let's try this again. I'm gonna clip this zip tie because it's just causing issues right now. Okay. This guy doesn't seem quite like it's lined up. There we go. There we go. Fine. Use this guy. Not enough memory to open this page. What the heck? My YouTube studio, YouTube just crashed. Hold on. My YouTube's still going? Okay, good. My YouTube, page crashed. That's weird. I have 64 gigs of RAM. I don't think I ran out of memory. There we go. Oh no! Did I just put that in there without plugging in the power cable to the GPU? I guess I have to take this bottom panel off now. Good thing all these panels come out. This probably would have made putting the power supply in easier. guys get effed with taxes. All right, so. Nobody likes taxes. Okay, got that. GPU power cable right here. Like that.
Woo, nice head, lol.
Okay, clean that up a little bit. Put all these bolts back, including the center one. What's the case here? It's a Lee A4H20. I was talking to myself, Henry? I'm not pre-recorded. I don't know why you would think I'm pre-recorded. Been talking to chat most of this time, except for the last few minutes when I've been concentrating really hard. Okay. There we go. We can undo this guy.
Hello, Red from Kick.
I'm also not just streaming to YouTube, so that could be why you don't see all the comments I'm responding to. All right. There we go. Need to tighten that down. Liquid cooling is whack. Go for a 6-8 heat pipe dual tower cooler. Who's talking about liquid cooling? Talking about for this? I would not go with a tower cooler for this because you can only fit a very thin tower air cooler in this system, and it would not be enough for the 9800 X3D. At least not as much as you would want for keeping it cool. So, no, tower air cooling is not always the answer. Sorry. All right, there you go. GPU on this side. Oh, we should probably put our AIO radiator bolted down. Sorry for insulting your viewers on the red side. I'm going to sleep. Hey, they probably deserve it. It's fine. Can I swap my pre-built PC that's an MSI Infinite to this case without any problems? You should be able to. Oh, this case? I don't know. I don't know if that pre-built has an ITX motherboard. You definitely would have to look at all of your specs and make sure that everything would fit. This case, using small form factor cases, like you really have to be careful with all of your parts to make sure that it's all gonna fit. You miss your redneck PC? Did you get rid of yours, Fadeaway? What happened? All right, so GPU right here, 240 millimeter radiator on top. CPU cooler right here. Although, that looks like it's proud of the side panel. We'll find out. It said it would fit in the, And I was looking at all the specs. Here's our back panel. And our other side panel. It does fit. Only just. I don't think this cover will fit on it. I'll put the cover back on, but I don't think it'll fit with that on it. Nope. That cover is just a little too thick. There we go. Now that is a fully built mobile gaming PC. Small form factor. There it is. Put all these GPU cover things back on. Some of this stuff away. It's so funny that this is too thick. But that's okay. Now start it. Yo, what up, Steve-O? How much does this little thing cost? It was around $3,200 to $3,300, I think, including the mobile 1440p monitor and the carrying case and keyboard and everything. And, you know, shipping and build fee and all that stuff included. Need a bigger hammer, it'll fit. It would be kind of cool to like laser the opening right there. And then let the CPU cooler like be proud of it, you know? That would be kind of cool. Just like cut, if we just like lasered out this little section here and then the CPU cooler block like stuck through, that would look really cool.
Hi Red, how we doing?
Arctic, this has a 4070 Ti Super. Yeah, the GPU was a little bit of a struggle, not gonna lie. Test stream is over. What do you mean test stream's over? All right. So, yeah, it's a Ventus 2X. I'm really glad we didn't go with a three slot card, or whatever it's called, the three fan card. I think it says it would fit, but that would have been so tight. All right. Just did my first online stream with OBS. Hey, how'd it go, Doc? What up, Soul Reaper? Okay. I want to see your favorite emoji in the chat right now, and then we'll power this baby on. I'm gonna bring the lights down so you can see what RGB there is to see. Ghost classic. Somebody blew up your PC? What the heck? This PC is for just someone who wants to game on the go. They're doing a lot of traveling for work, and they spend a lot of time like gaming right now on a laptop in hotels, but he just wasn't happy with the performance he was getting, so he wanted to get a mobile gaming setup, which is what we did here. I did see the new 50 series, and I'm pretty excited for it. All right, first ever power up on this incredible small form factor case. Hopefully there's nothing hitting any fans. And yeah, I think we're I think we're good to go. Power button is over here somewhere. Over here. Ready? Oh, I didn't push that down all the way. Nice. I shouldn't have said anything. That's the sound of a wire up against the fan. Amazing engine sound. Yeah. Okay. Let's look. Let's pull this back off and look. Oh, it's that cable that I was worried about earlier. Okay. I need to pull the lights back on. So, I believe that is the cable to the, that is actually the cable for these fans that's causing this problem. Okay. I'm gonna get a couple of zip ties and we'll fix that lickety split. Fan spinning, no sound. Did I see the Nvidia Cosmos? I don't recall which one that is. There we go. Fan spinning, no sound. You think Deep Cool is the best? Well, you can't buy Deep Cool in the US anymore. Deep Cool is sanctioned for sales in the US because they sold stuff to Russia. Wartime things to Russia. Okay. Let's try that again. I'm so confident putting these bolts back on. Bringing that back up. I'm turning off the light. All right, ready for attempt number 2? There it is. There it is. So you can see we've got a little RGB coming through these top fans. Got a little RGB shining through on the back side, and then we've got some RGB there from the CPU cooler block, and then a little bit from the power supply. The power supply on this does have RGB. And that's it. PC's done. Show it on the overhead cam. What do you want to see on the overhead cam? So there's your RGB on top. On the side, the RGB is just coming through from the top fans. And then on the bottom, or on the other side, CPU cooler block, power supply. You messed up 3 times now, congratulations. Me? No, I don't know what you're talking about. Stupid question, I need a computer capable of running modern games and doing basic tasks. What specs should I have? What's your budget, guest? I would say at like a minimum, get like a 1660 and like a Ryzen 5 5600 if you're just looking for like really basic gaming. If you want more than that, maybe like a 4060 Ti or a 77 or 7800 XT with maybe like a 5700X 3D, or go all the way up in budget to an AM5 with like a Ryzen 5 7600 with one of those GPUs, and you'd be in a really good spot. Check out that. Look at that strong hairline, you guys. I'm just kidding. You tell me I need to run Baldur's Gate. It really just depends, man. There's a lot of different levels to being able to play it. Like, are you trying to play it at 1080p? Are you trying to play it at 1440p? Are you trying to... The B580 is great if you can get your hands on one. They're really hard to get still. And that would be... I would have suggested a B580. They're just so hard to find. Unless you're really on top of it, that you're not going to be able to find one, you know? At least not for now. I don't know if you answered the last 100 I asked, but how much is this exact build? I think it was around 3,300 bucks, Otto. Shoot me a message, MJ, or send me an email, and I can tell you what the price is, and you can save a good amount of money on this system in terms of how much it'll cost if we adjust the specs. Like, there's a $500 CPU in here and a 4070 Ti Super, so like you could game and stream from a lot less for a lot less. This customer just wanted something really high end, so. But I think this was around 3,300 bucks, and that includes like the Pelican style carrying case and the mobile monitor and all that sort of stuff. Is a 13600K and an ARC A770 a bottleneck? I would say the A770 is probably more so a bottleneck, but because the 13600K can handle more than that. Can I build a budget build in this case? Yeah. And we could even find a cheaper case too. But yeah, we can build a much more budget-friendly PC in this. How good is the 6650 XT plus the 5600 for 1080p? That's great for 1080p. You can play any game you want at 1080p with those specs. 7800 XT, should I buy now or wait till the 9000 series? There's so little information about the 9000 series, it's hard to say. They haven't given us exact dates. They haven't given us prices. They haven't given us like performance metrics. It's really hard to say. This thing is so quiet. It's crazy. Are we going to check the thermals on stream? Not on this stream. I'm making a long form YouTube video on this whole setup that I'm doing. So that will be part of that overall work, but I'm not going to be doing it here. Wait for 9000 series and buy a 7800 XT. They might not really be available by then, but you never know. If you're like kind of on the fence about building a PC right now anyways, and you're not like desperate to build one right now, I would just wait for a little while, see what happens. Supposedly the 9800 or the 9000 series GPUs, XFX dropped January 24th. We don't know if that's going to be a release date or if that's going to be a like full unveiling date, but yeah, a few weeks from now we're going to have a much better idea of the 9000 series. Don't say crystal. Yeah, so I will be checking the thermals on this, just not right now on this stream, because I've got a whole video planned for this setup. All right, sounds good, MJ. All right, y'all. That's it for this build. That's it for today's stream. Yeah, I'm gonna get to work on planning out the rest of the script for this video, and then yeah, get Windows and stuff installed on here. Did overpay taxes this year almost at all? Just gonna mail return it? You didn't overpay on taxes this year, so you're not gonna get much of a return? Bummer. Or any return. Hetfield, do you act as a contractor at your work? Or do you own the business?
Nope. I'm state employee.
Oh, interesting. Gotcha. All right, y'all. What's the worst computer someone has commissioned you to build? Well, I have like my wife's cousin here does like, he runs a mechanic shop. His builds are probably like the quote unquote worst ones I've built because they were like $500 or $600.
New gig and the withholding taken went down for some reason.
Super budget friendly. Went up in to pay to take new gig. Went up and paid to take the new gig and the withholding taken went down for some reason. That's weird. My brother knows more and he always says if you buy newer, it's more optimized for future. And now it's, yeah, for sure. It's got newer technology. It's got newer, like the hardware inside of it is like newer and better. Newer is always going to be, almost always going to be better. It's just kind of down to like, there's always going to be something new. Like there's always going to be something like right around the corner. So when you're ready to pull the trigger, unless something is coming out within the next like month, then usually I just say, just pull the trigger. Just go for it. You could use a random spinner. That's true. Danyavad. Danyavad? I'm sure I butchered that. But Danyavad. Thank you all for being here. I appreciate all of you coming in, hanging out, chatting, keeping the stream interesting, ribbing me when I mess up. I appreciate all of that. All of it. All right? Thank you all so much for being here. We'll see you on the next one. I have more builds in the queue.
Pals.
It's not going to be very long before the next build comes up. So stay tuned. Make sure you're subscribed, liking, all those sort of things, notifications on. Do all the things. Go check out my latest YouTube video on how to update your BIOS. Check out my TikTok. Do it all. All right? That's your homework. Not just for tonight, but for the week. Okay? Do those things. All right? Y'all have a good night. Appreciate it. Bye. Bye, 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 bye.